$1,388. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, physicians from two top universities are calling on Congress to promptly investigate the deaths of 6 migrant children in the government's custody, warning that the widely reported poor conditions in detention centers could be putting thousands of children at risk for infectious diseases. The Mind Unleashed reports that 3 of the 6 children who died while in U.S. custody since last September died partially because they had contracted influenza. 2 died after spending twice the amount of time in a Border Patrol station than the Department of Homeland Security typically allows. About 2,000 migrant children are in U.S. custody on any given day, many after a grueling journey from Central America and elsewhere. The children are in Border Patrol stations, where many have been kept for far longer than the facilities are equipped to house people. Detention centers run by ICE and the Health and Human Services Department, and facilities run by for-profit government contractors like CoreCivic. The doctors urge lawmakers to probe how the widely reported unsanitary conditions in the centers contributed to the deaths that have been recorded. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A new report from Georgetown Law's Center on Privacy and Technology suggests that Immigration and Customs Enforcement may be using illegal immigration as a type of cover to track and spy on Americans in violation of their Fourth Amendment rights. Activist Post reports that 3 years ago, the center revealed that nearly half of all U.S. adults are already in the FBI's facial recognition database, which is largely sourced from DMV photos. ICE has apparently requested special access to Department of Motor Vehicles databases in at least 3 states, Utah, Washington State, and Vermont, which the federal agency plans to use in conjunction with facial recognition technology to scan people's driver's license photos and match them against criminal and residency databases, all without their knowledge or consent. The documents uncovered this week are the first confirmation that states have granted ICE specifically, not just the FBI, access to those databases. The CIA has released a batch of documents detailing how their Office of Public Affairs staff met with film director Michael Bay and successfully leaned on him to make changes to the script to his film 13 Hours. The Mind Unleashed reports that the 2016 action thriller is the only major movie Hollywood has produced about the attacks on the United States Special Mission in Benghazi and the nearby CIA annex. It grossed less than $70 million against a $50 million budget and is the least commercially successful film Bay has ever produced. While audiences rated 13 Hours more highly than critics, the film's attempt to capitalize on the politics of the Benghazi attacks largely failed. The documents released under the Freedom of Information Act reveal that Bay first approached the CIA in March 2015, weeks before production started. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
If you live in Williamsburg, chances are good you've seen them. Giant piles of beard hair rotting in the streets. Don't worry, it just means hipster molting season is here again. Experts say the husks of dead beards don't pose a threat to public safety and are just part of the natural life cycle of these strange organisms.
Once a year, all at the same time, every 20-something urban male sheds his ironic beard to make room for larger, more fanciful facial hair. They need the beards. They're a tough exoskeleton that protects these young people from the non-whimsical realities of life.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service says it's the largest molting season on record. In Brooklyn, sanitation crews are working overtime to clean up the loose whiskers the exuviating males have left behind. The affected youth's molting season comes right before their mating season, when the males use their lush beards to impress the local hordes of burlesque females.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live. You are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. That's what we do here on Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
Aria is normally in with us on a Monday night, but Aria is working because...
She's at her other job right now because apparently a whole bunch of people at her other job had to go out of town for some reason.
Sometimes that happens. Well, hopefully she'll be back next week. The number, if you'd like to call in, is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. And in order to not talk about shootings in America or Donald Trump's thoughts on them, we are going to talk about anything else. What do we got here? 1,000 squat challenge? What is that?
1,000 squat challenge. I only heard about this today. Apparently, the 1,000 squat challenge is where you do 1,000 squats because your friend is also doing 1,000 squats and you don't want her to beat you.
I kind of think this is going to not go very far. You remember when the kids were setting themselves on fire and eating Tide Pods?
Eating Tide Pods, yeah. Oh, God, what else have they been doing?
It's easier than those things.
Yeah,
I mean, it's harder than those things.
Yeah, it's harder. It is. I mean, it's easy to eat a Tide Pod once you get past the taste.
Right, you just eat the Tide Pod. But doing 1,000 squats is really, really hard.
It's exercise.
Yeah. What's the story?
Oh, goodness.
It's coming from RT.com, and the author, oh, shoot. What's the author's name here? Do they not have authors in Russia? I don't know. Whatever.
I'm sure they do.
It's from RT. 2 Chinese girls end up in intensive care after attempting 1,000 squat challenge.
My tablet is not cooperating.
Well, in the latest installment of Viral Fad's Gone Wrong phenomenon, 2 Chinese girls, teenage girls, exercised their way into intensive care, having taken part in the truly hellish-sounding 1,000 squat challenge.
Yeah, I mean, this is something you do like 10 of them, you rest, you do another 10 of them, and you're probably done. So...
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you could do more. Most people could handle more than just a few body squats.
Maybe 20, 50, maybe 100.
I think 100 is a real challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people out there that can go farther than 100 without too much trouble.
Right.
But I'm working with a personal trainer and have been for a few months now, just to basically be, not because I don't know what to do, but because I won't get my butt out of bed in order to do it if I don't have the appointment. So I've got the appointment, and there's no way I wouldn't be unwilling to do 1,000 squats because I think that something similar would happen to me as it did to these young ladies, which was not very pleasant.
Yeah, it's something you got to work up to. You don't just wake up one day and do 1,000 squats.
Yeah, what started out as an innocent competition between 2 friends had very serious consequences for 19-year-old Tang and her pal as the pair battled out to out-squat each other in Chongqing, China. Sorry, Chinese listeners. The teens, who took turns doing 1 squat at a time, sort of alternating via video call, and their obstinance quickly saw them rack up impressive numbers. We both did not want to lose, and so we kept trying to beat each other, resulting in us completing 1,000 squats, Tang told the Chinese press.
Now, for having, I presume that neither of them has ever done anything like that before, so it's an amazing feat that they were able to do that continue to walk. Yeah, and continue to walk, but I guess apparently they weren't able to continue to walk.
Yeah, as unappealing as it may sound, doing 1,000 squats in a row has become a trend among fitness fans, and videos of people attempting the challenge have generated millions of views on YouTube.
Wait, it wasn't just these two? People have actually tried to copy this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they were doing it because of, they're just the worst case scenario. And it is the worst case, ladies and gentlemen. Just hold on here. The teenagers felt a bit, that's Tang, felt a bit sore in the aftermath of the grueling session, but she managed to go to work as normal the next day. It wasn't until the following morning that the true impact of the workout hit her, and she realized that something was drastically wrong. First of all, my leg was not only sore, but I couldn't bend it. And then I went to the bathroom and found that my urine was brown.
Oh,
Tang's
my.
boyfriend rushed her to the hospital, where she was diagnosed with rhabdomyolysis, a serious condition in which the kidneys can't process all the waste content floating in the blood because of the rapid breakdown of muscle. The illness can cause serious kidney damage and can even be fatal. Luckily for Tang, the doctors successfully managed to rehydrate her with a drip, and she was released after her condition had cleared up. A phone call to her friend revealed that she was hospitalized in the aftermath of the workout also, and highlighting how close the girls came to causing serious damage to themselves.
Yeah, that's something you got to work up to that.
1,200 might have killed them.
Yeah, it very well could have. I mean, yeah, don't combine this with eating a Tide Pod, I guess.
I certainly not. That would have taken them out, I would suspect. I don't know. I guess there's enough people doing this that it's probably the fitness buffs. You know, these CrossFit people, they can handle this stuff because they're
already in shape.
Right. So, I mean, the Asian lady doing squats here on the video I've got here.
You just randomly run across a video about doing 1,000 squats, and you just say, oh, I want to do that, but I've never done a single squat in my life. You're going to end up like this.
It's going to be bad. Yeah, it's going to be bad. So anyway, I think it's kind of funny when these kids do these challenges, and I think everybody else does too. Your thoughts on it, 855-450-3733. Hope the girls are okay in the long run. 855-450-FREE is in freedom.
It's all fun and games until someone loses a kidney.
You're right. Let's go to Bill calling in from North Carolina. Bill, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, personally, I support same-sex marriage as long as both chicks are hot.
What?
I said I support same-sex marriage as long as both chicks are hot.
All right. Same-sex marriage as long as both chicks are hot. Gotcha.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thanks for the call.
Well, that wasn't what he had listed as his thing, but it was, better crank than we've had in a long time, honestly.
Yeah, it was. His accent was so strong I couldn't understand him at first.
You think it was his accent? Or just him faking an accent?
It could have been a fake accent.
I support both same-sex marriage as long as both chicks are hot.
Yeah, I just couldn't understand it at first.
Yeah, well, you're rather generous in presuming that that was a. Speaking of hot chicks, I don't know if these two gals were attractive at all, but they probably didn't look that great in the hospital after doing 1,000 squats.
Yeah, nobody looks great in the hospital.
No.
The lighting's all wrong.
It's too much fluorescent in there. I don't know whether I think this is going to catch on too much after this sort of warning tale here of these two gals, and then how difficult it is just to do 1,000 squats. I kind of think we're all safe from the rash of teenagers dying.
Hopefully
due to this particular challenge.
Hopefully we don't have someone actually die from trying this. I hadn't heard of this challenge yet, until today, so I don't know how popular it really is.
But do you remember when then, like a few years ago, they were setting themselves on fire?
Oh my! Yeah.
They were like putting like alcohol on themselves and then lighting it, and what will this do?
Oh, come on! You don't know what that's going to do?
Well, it's going to, I mean, even people doing it in the shower, but then like they're setting their shower curtains on fire and all kinds of things. It's just a generally bad idea to set yourself on fire.
Yeah. Is there video of that? Because I would like to see that.
Oh, yes, there's video. Just the Set Myself on Fire challenge or whatever that's called.
Oh, my. Yeah, I must have missed that one.
Oh, no, it's out there. There's plenty of it. I mean, I've never watched a video of a kid eating a Tide Pod either, but I'm sure that it's out there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've seen the news stories on that one.
Just because I've seen the news stories doesn't mean I've seen the kid eating the actual Tide Pod. Just I have to, there's just reports of kids eating Tide Pods. And I suppose if you've grown up with candy and little wrappers or whatever, fake colors and little wrappers, that a Tide Pod might look delicious to you.
Yeah, I guess it might, but it's in this package that says Tide is laundry detergent. If you manage to get to 16 years old without knowing that,
yeah, it's not good. 855-450-3733, 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids,
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa,
the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished. Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
Do you know the difference between erudite and pedantic? If you do, you're probably pedantic. But seriously, a surprising number of erudite people mispronounce erudite, which has 3 syllables, not 4. Say erudite, not erudite. Because you are judged by how you speak, you want to avoid common misstatements, especially if you're a job seeker. For instance, do you know the difference between imply and infer? Only a speaker can imply. Only a listener can infer. And when you say you'll be out of pocket, do you mean out of touch? Out of pocket means you're on your own dime, not yet reimbursed. And if anyone ever asks, why do you always answer a question with a question? You should reply, do I do that? Just kidding. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in. Talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
The number, 855-450-3733. We just talked about the, apparently, fad sweeping the internet, the 1,000 squat challenge.
Yeah, don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah, I don't recommend this really to anybody who hasn't already made it up to 500 squats. So, good luck. All the best to you. Whatever. If you don't make it, then you're cleaning out the gene pool. I don't care. So, I guess we really can't avoid talking about this stuff as much as I want to, Michael. Donald Trump wants to ban video games or something.
That's what he says. And
it's from The Independent here.
Don't actually have this up.
Andrew Griffin writing over there. He goes on, video games are partly to blame for mass shootings. Donald Trump has said games that celebrate violence should be discouraged and made harder to buy, the president suggested. We must stop the glorification of violence in our society, he said during a speech in the wake of a spate of shootings.
Wait, hold on. Trump has spent his whole presidency glorifying violence. What is he talking about? He's encouraging the white nationalists. He's openly racist.
Well, I mean, how does he encourage the white nationalists? I hear these things said, but I'm not exactly sure how it's done.
Yeah, that's a good question because I didn't actually bring that in. But I have seen this. I have seen this myself. So
the claims are out there. I don't know what exactly Trump does to encourage white nationalists. I've heard in the wake of the Charlottesville shooting, the death in Charlottesville, the protests and all that stuff. It said that there were good people on both sides or something.
Good people on both sides. That's what he said.
Right. And that would include there are good Antifa people, presumably. I don't know who these people are.
And good Nazis?
And good, well, I mean, did they say they were Nazis or, I think it was a coalition of people, and I'm not sure which ones are good and which ones aren't. I wouldn't claim to know, but it just seems like everybody's quick to presume that Trump is, encouraging racists, and maybe it's true. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know, but I'd like to see the evidence. And, I've heard that in of itself means I'm enabling racism just because I want to see the evidence. So I don't know.
I don't know. Seems reasonable to me to want to see the evidence, so I'll go get that for you.
I don't spend any time looking this stuff up if he's, he's not my candidate. I didn't vote for him. You got Donald Trump because the Democrats let Hillary Clinton get away with stacking the deck, attempting, at the very least, if not actually cheating, attempting to cheat, preparing herself to cheat for the Democratic nomination. Yeah. If they would have put up anybody else, but Bernie Sanders was the next closest competitor, if they'd allowed him to win instead of, all the superdelegates saying, yep, it's time for Hillary, then you wouldn't have had the most distasteful woman in America running against the most distasteful man in America and had the outcome that we had.
Yeah, that's true, but, we can't go back in time and fix that.
Nope, can't do that. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace, apparently. We must stop the glorification of violence in our society. It's too easy today for troubled youth to surround themselves with a culture that celebrates violence. We must stop or substantially reduce this, and it has to begin immediately.
Yeah, I want to know what he's talking about there. A culture that celebrates violence? What does this have to do with video games?
I guess immersing yourself in a first-person shooter is immersing yourself in violence.
It's fake violence. It's not real. It's not even something that makes you want to go out and shoot real people.
So when I would watch Bruce Lee movies when I was young, or The Incredible Hulk with Lou Ferrigno, we'd have friends over. We'd be running around in our tidy whities going, "Rah!" Pretending to be the Hulk, and then jumping on each other and doing that kind of thing. Spindly little white kids in tidy whities jumping on each other. And with Bruce Lee, we'd be karate chopping and doing everything that we imagined that one would do. We're terrible at it, but whatever. It didn't make a difference.
Yeah, I just said you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. So it usually worked.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. The president did not give any details on what form that crackdown might take or how it would be launched. On Saturday, a shooter killed 20 people at a Walmart store in El Paso. By the way, that number has crept up, sadly, because people have died at the hospital.
From their injuries?
Yeah. In what authorities said appeared to be a racially motivated crime. Hours later, another gunman killed 9 in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, it was a terrible weekend.
Yep. Comments came in, a speech addressing the shootings in which Mr. Trump also blamed the internet for radicalizing those who conduct violent attacks. He spoke about the dark recesses of social media sites and the danger that they can do. He also spoke about mental health reform and condemned racism and bigotry and white supremacy. No connection has ever been meaningfully established between violent video games and violent behavior, and the relationship between the two continues to be debated by academics and experts.
Yeah, that much is true. This is not new either. I mean, people have been complaining, people have been saying, rather, that violent video games cause people to become violent ever since there were video games. I mean, God, I think the first video, I was just reading on Wikipedia, the first violent video game came out in 1976.
Okay.
It was called Gremlins, and it was very primitive. You remember how Pong looked, right?
Yeah.
It looked a lot like that. So it was called Gremlins, and what you had to do is you had to run over the gremlins, and you had to avoid if you ran over a gremlin, it would turn into a gravestone, and you had to avoid the gravestones while running over the gremlins.
I see.
So people called this violent.
Well, if you're a gremlin, you'd think so.
I suppose so. But you know, the thing is, they managed to the video game industry managed to get the government to kind of back off of regulating them back in the 90s by forming the ESRB, the Entertainment Software Review Board.
Right.
And so they rate video games.
They currently rate video games, and there's an M for mature.
There's M for mature. There's
and I think that currently young people can't purchase an M for mature game.
If you try to go into GameStop or whatever and buy one of these M games, they'll card you.
I don't think I'll get carded for anything anymore, so I don't know what this is like.
If you're a teenager,
maybe
at
maybe at an AARP rally, but that's about it. I think I'm eligible in 2 more years. I think it's only 50 that one has to be, so they're not going to card me for anything.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm just not going to get carded anymore. But I think that they basically make it hard for young people to buy M for mature games, but now they download them, don't they?
I'm sorry?
Don't they download video games?
Yeah, these days you just buy them on Steam and download them.
So
it's not something you go into the store for anymore.
How do you prevent young people from downloading video games on Steam then?
Good question. I don't know. I've not had to face this because I haven't been under 18.
And I don't, I can't even imagine what they would, why young people particularly, why they rate something mature or whatever. Because some of the video games I see my son playing, I mean, it's armies fighting against each other and there's some slashing and stuff like that goes on.
Okay.
Well, whatever. 855-450-3733.
You're not a wild animal, and you shouldn't be tagged and tracked like one. Where you go and what you do every minute of the day, tracked and recorded by your mobile phone, is often more revealing than your browser history. And tech companies make a fortune selling your location history without your consent. GoDark bags prevent location tracking and protect your privacy by instantly blocking all cell phone, GPS, and Wi-Fi signals to your mobile device. Plus, they're durable, water-resistant, and built for a lifetime of protection. Visit GoDarkbags.com/FTL. That's GoDarkbags.com/FTL.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Free Talk Live.
Good evening, Mark and Ian.
Hey, it's Scott the Bigot. What's on your mind tonight, Scott?
I know that America is in dire straits, and I know that the whole rotten Zionist-occupied government is going to collapse very soon.
When was the last time you went out and socialized with other human beings?
I get the pulse of the people, and I get the pulse of what's going on in this country.
How can you get the pulse of anything if you're cloistered within your apartment?
I know what's going on.
I mean, are you even getting out amongst other white separatists?
No. Wait, in a minute.
Is that your mom?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
No, listen, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I want it now. No.
So, gentlemen.
Who is that?
Yeah, you go loud.
Wait, is that your mother?
Yeah, I take care of her.
How old are you, by the way?
49.
Is your mom as bigoted and nasty towards other human beings as you are?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever you want. We're talking about Trump, threats to ban video games. God knows. Couldn't be anything else that's causing all the problems in America. It's got to be video games.
Yeah, it's violent video games that are driving people to go out and commit mass shootings.
So I was, Michael, I was listening to NPR on the way in, as I often do. I like to listen. There's really only 2 talk stations here in little old Keene, New Hampshire, and I just don't want to listen to, the commercial talkers on the way in to work. I'd rather listen to NPR. I like the Kai Ryssdal and whatever that financial wrap-up show is. Apparently not that great with their names. Haven't listened enough over the course of 5 years to remember what the name is. But anyhow, they've been talking recessions. And just there's some indicators out there for a recession, and that somehow just those indicators apparently have driven up the price of Bitcoin BTC here.
I believe it.
In the last day or so, it's up like $1,300 or something. And if there's a recession, it's people want to find places to go to put their money. So they need to have they have money. That's why they're in the stock market. If a recession comes and there's a downward turn, they're going to take their money out and put it someplace.
Yeah, it has to go somewhere.
It's either going to go into gold or real estate or crypto. And crypto is easy to get in and easy to get out, and it has this sort of newness and gravitas that it hasn't had before. I expect that, although I'm not in the same boat as John McAfee, in which I
literally
intend to eat body parts if I'm wrong that it doesn't go to $1 million or whatever. I don't even know what his numbers are. I think it's $2 million now that he's doubled down
Yeah, well, it was 500,000 at first, and now he's saying 1 million.
Okay. Whatever his numbers are, I do think that some crypto bears are going to get wealthy here in the next few months. If this recession actually turns into a recession. If it doesn't, then I don't know. But Bitcoin's certainly up from a few months ago, whereas at $3,000, now it's sitting at 11,000.
Yeah, 11,000. I just looked it up, 11,800. It was at 10,300 yesterday, so that was a big.
These are
jump.
huge jumps, and people continue to poo-poo it. I know somebody bought in at 20,000 out there, still waiting to get their money back, and will probably bail right when it hits 20,000. Then they'll feel like, I can't believe I got out. And maybe, I don't know, whatever it is. If you want to find out more about this whole cryptocurrency thing, I think the place to start is Bitcoin.com.
Yeah, Bitcoin.com has been great.
Not only do they have great videos to tell you how to get what is Bitcoin first, how to get a wallet, how to purchase some Bitcoin Cash for the wallet, and basically take care of you every step of the way, and then provide real news that surrounds cryptocurrency. And then they also have created an online marketplace called local.bitcoin.com that you can go there and check out, but it allows you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods. And there's no ID requirements or sign up and to use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. This is really nice stuff and really fits with the culture of cryptocurrency. Mm-hmm. It's bitcoin.com. You won't be disappointed. It's a great site. It's it should be one of the biggest sites on the internet. I don't know if it is yet.
Well, person to person, I did make a couple of trades on local.bitcoin.com, and they went pretty smoothly.
Yeah,
I had like one or two people cancel too, but that happens sometimes.
Yes, it does. Bitcoin.com. Going on with the story from the Independent here, where Trump is talking about how he's going to ban video games or something. Do you have, by the way, did you look up some evidence that Trump is a racist? It seemed like you were doing that during the break.
I was distracted during the break and I didn't.
No, okay. In February, for instance, a study found that there was no evidence that who play violent video games are more prone to real-world aggressive behavior than their peers, and that the link between the two had been overstated. The idea that violent video games, as quote marks here, drive the real-world aggression and is a popular one, but it hasn't been tested very well over time, said the lead researcher, Andrew Przybylski, director of the research at the Oxford Internet Institute, who conducted one of the most comprehensive studies yet undertaken.
Yeah, the actual evidence for this just isn't there.
What's that?
For violent video games causing people to be violent.
Okay. Yeah, Trump has reportedly suggested that there be a better regulation of video games to limit the damage that they could do to young people who play them. I don't even know that I've heard that any of these shooters particularly were gamers. I mean, I think it would be hard to claim that any young person at this point isn't a gamer, but I don't even know what a gamer is.
A gamer, it's somebody who plays video games, but I guess gamer in that sense, like the pejorative sense, is somebody who plays video games and is also like, I don't know, an incel or something.
Well, I think that there's different types of video gamers. So I used to play console games, and I know from playing console games that the people who played on PCs didn't think much of us, console gamers.
There's always been that divide between console gamers and PC gamers. PC gamers looking down on console gamers, and console gamers wondering why.
Right, exactly what? I bought a machine that is made to play, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, this is made for gaming. Why are you looking down on it?
Well, let me ask you this then. What about the people who play Candy Crush on their cell phones? Are they gamers?
Are they gamers?
I mean, there's a lot of, blue-haired ladies out there playing Candy Crush.
My understanding is that they're casual gamers.
Okay, they're casual gamers now. Okay, so if you talk about somebody who plays one video game per week or month or some period of time, then you're talking about, and that's just a sort of that. If you call somebody who plays once a month a regular gamer, you're talking about a very high percentage of America.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. I mean, just people that play a couple hours on the weekend.
If you're just
that's
talking,
a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about people who play, I don't know. I'm thinking about my parents here for a second. My mother plays solitaire on her computer, and does puzzles on her iPad.
Mm-hmm.
My mother-in-law plays Candy Crush or some 3-match game. And my father-in-law plays some old version of Civilization that he still has.
Yeah.
And he just wants to attack and take over cities.
Does it work?
Yeah, he's fine at it. He's gotten quite good. I imagine that's what mostly people want to do in Civilization. But are they all gamers? It's hard for me to imagine that these septuagenarians would all fit the definition of somebody who rigorously uses this term gamer is a gamer.
Yeah, but it depends on your definition. But I think the people that are using this term gamer don't have your parents in mind.
No, I don't think they do. And I also think that, I don't think the young people that are using it to describe them, the self-describing themselves, or saying that girls can't be gamers, or the people that are attending the e-games, where in New York City, as I get it, let's see, e-games just reached like 100 million or something like that.
Esports?
Esports, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've heard of esports. It's
hard for me to take that crap seriously. As an old person, like what? I have no idea what you're talking. You kids or whatever this is.
My understanding of esports, and I could be wrong because I'm not really involved in this, is that in esports you're playing a video game, but you're playing it against other players.
Right. As I understand it, Fortnite has become very popular, as is Overwatch.
StarCraft, things like that.
There's a few of them that are very popular amongst these groups, and it's highly competitive. And apparently the ladies claim, the claim is the ladies are being harassed. And what does harassment mean? Probably anywhere from, you can say something mean to somebody who just beat you, or you just beat, or whatever. It doesn't seem unlikely that people would do that, especially young, stupid people on the internet.
Yeah, it happens.
Just rubbing their nose in it. And I suppose if it's a young lady, they'd tell her to get back in the kitchen and make them a sandwich or whatever. I don't know if I call that harassment, but it's certainly gender-based.
It is.
I don't know. Whatever. Your thoughts? 855-450-3733. 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live. Or you can check out our Discord rooms. You've got to discord.freetalklive.com.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state, until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with Reputation Defender. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with Reputation Defender. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771. For your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with Reputation Defender. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com. Or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict, or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever you want. That's why we call it Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
Want to thank John Rolstead, who's a silver amplifier. And you could be an amplifier, too, if you go to amp.freetalklive.com. Why would you want to do that? Well, there might be a couple of reasons. One I can think of is you support the ideas of liberty and understand that Free Talk Live, with its 200 radio stations and hundreds of thousands of listeners, well, I don't even know how you count them. Like, if you count the amount of people who've listened over time, I think you can safely say more than 1 million listeners.
More than 1 million, yeah.
But I don't know I don't know how you count these things, but millions of listeners, whatever. If you realize that we reach a lot of people, and we do it with no cost, I mean, so we're reaching more and more people, then you'll realize that we're the best use of your liberty-oriented dollar. For $5 a month, that's all we ask.
Yeah.
To join the AMP program, you go to amp.freetalklive.com. Another thing you might value, maybe you don't like the ideas of liberty. Maybe you're like, that's not exactly right, or you guys don't like the ideas of liberty the way I like them. Maybe you just like free speech. Because here on Free Talk Live, it's pretty easy to get on the air, and it's pretty easy to get your ideas across. Now, it's possible to get yourself banned, as one listener has, so famously managed to do.
It takes a whole lot of work to do that.
It's a lot of threatening the hosts and things like that, and generally other people, So mostly free speech here on Free Talk Live. So it's amp.freetalklive.com. We'd love to have you in the AMP program at amp.freetalklive.com. Michael, apparently you did scour the internet and found somebody's list of reasons why Trump is a racist.
It's an extensive list going all the way back to the 70s.
Can we do the more recent stuff? I mean, when they play that old you just grab them by the crotch little bit, I guess somehow I'm not impressed. I would say that certainly Trump's claims that Barack Obama was not born in the United States could be interpreted by some as some form of racism, but also this is what politicians do. They find a parade and they jump out in front of it.
They do that.
There are people who genuinely believe Barack Obama was not born in the United States. I'm not saying they're right.
Well,
I will say that Barack Obama acted like an a-hole. Because if somebody asked me, Mark, were you born in the United States? And I said, well, I'd say, yeah, I guess I was born here in the geographic political designation known as the United States, specifically in Sarasota, Florida. Well, I want you to prove it. And then I get out that, I sent some very sort of digital-looking certificate of, the proof of...
the birth certificate.
The birth certificate that Obama released wasn't like my birth certificate. And he's about my age, so it should be, presumably. It should have a little print on it from your foot or print on it from your hand.
Mine didn't.
Okay, well, whatever. And it should be a sort of a half a sheet of paper typed...
Yeah, mine looked like that. It was like some kind of standard form. It said certificate of live birth at the top, and it's got all the little fields that they fill in. They type it, and somebody signs it at the bottom.
But that's not what Barack Obama's looked like.
Right.
The one that they released. The one that they released looked very much like someone in Hawaii said, yes, this man was born here, absolutely, and just sent out something. And if I sent that thing out and then somebody questioned it, I'd say, all right, well, here's my birth certificate, but I'm going to black out a few things that I'll have somebody on my team black out a few things that might be considered important. I don't know. I mean, so I have my lawyer look at it and we'll release this. And then at that point, you'd think that would be sufficient. I also would say that the fact that we don't currently have the only requirement to be president of the United States, basically the one thing that satisfies the only requirements to be the president of the United States is a birth certificate.
Pretty much.
So a birth certificate to say when and where you were born. And for whatever reason, the founding fathers determined that one must be born on this particular plot of land to be president. I'm not saying that people who were born on other ones are unqualified. I really never found this to be very convincing. The only thing that I thought to myself was, why the hell wouldn't he just release this normal thing? Again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care and don't want to drag this up. I just thought, it really looks like he's teasing these people. And if you tease people as their leader, you're a jerk.
Yeah.
Is Donald Trump a jerk? Donald Trump's a jerk too.
Oh, yeah.
So here you got me on the record in the same sentence. Barack Obama, Donald Trump, jerks.
That they are.
All right.
That they are. So yeah, this thing is so extensive, I could literally read the story for the rest of the show.
Yes, you absolutely could.
But I will kind of summarize.
As a candidate, and President Trump has made many more racist comments. Okay. On top of all that history, Trump has repeatedly made racist, almost often explicitly so, remarks on the campaign trail and as president. Okay. Trump launched his campaign in 2015 by calling Mexican immigrants racist who are bringing crime and bringing drugs. Okay. First off, Mexican's not a race. It's a nationality.
Nope, but that it is, and they do get into that later.
Secondly, I think that you could... Certainly rapists and criminals have crossed the border of the United States and Mexican line.
Well, sure.
I'm not saying that all the people who come... I would say the majority of them are people that just want to work for a better life and are not, rapists or whatever.
Criminals, whatever. Yeah, right.
It doesn't surprise me that Trump would use exaggerate the number of rapists or criminals that have crossed the border in order to get votes, because that's what right-wing talkers do all the time. When you start wanting to ask them about, okay, what about crimes committed by illegals? Well, we can't get criminal statistic. All right, what about crimes committed by Latinos? Well, that's basically the same as the crimes committed by Americans. And they can't get nailed down. So what do? They just read stories that say, look, Julio Jorge Rodriguez has, stolen a car and raped the woman and done terrible things to her children, tickled her children on the bottom of the feather, right? Whatever that they say, and they just keep doing this crap over and over again. Yeah. That, however, isn't sort of what I would call explicitly racist. I mean, to say that criminals have come across from south of the border, they have. As a candidate in 2015, Trump called for a ban on all Muslims coming to the U.S., and his administration eventually implemented a significantly watered-down version of that policy. Yeah, again,
Muslim is not a race.
Muslim is not a race.
Yeah.
So, is he... racially biased? Well, is he religiously biased? Find someone with a religion and you will find somebody who's religiously biased. I mean, that's just sort of the nature of religion.
That's true.
If you believe one thing, you can't believe the others, and the other people must be wrong. When Trump asked at a 2016 Republican debate whether 1.6 billion Muslims hate the U.S., Trump said, I mean a lot of them. I mean a lot of them.
Just a lot of them. Okay, a lot of 1.6 billion people?
Well, a lot is a lot, whether it is a small or large portion of a Muslim. Trump is good at this dancing around thing. Do I believe that the racists, by and large, voted for Trump? Well, the racists that prefer Christians and the racists that prefer whites, yeah, I do. But there are other racists.
Oh, yeah, there are.
He argued in 2016 that Judge Gonzalo Curel was overseeing the Trump University lawsuit, should recuse himself from the case because his Mexican heritage and membership in a Latino Lawyers Association called such a textbook definition of a racist comment. Paul Ryan said that. Okay, I don't even think that's a racist comment. If you're out there being judged for comments against Mexicans and you have a Mexican judge, I can see how you might feel that you are not going to get a fair shake.
Yeah, that.
I look, I don't go out running around saying bad things about any particular race, nationality, religion, or anything like that. Politicians. I generally say bad things about politicians. I say bad things about judges. I don't expect a judge to give me a fair shake if he ever hears my show, for God's sake.
Probably won't.
As a matter of fact, once I get in the courtroom and I begin pointing fingers at him and the prosecution and how they get paid by the same folks, I don't expect to get a fair treatment by these people.
No,
I expect to get biased treatment. So the expectation to get biased treatment, I guess that doesn't surprise me here from Donald Trump. And again, I'm not willing to call that racist.
Yeah, but that's not because of your heritage, though.
It's not, but I'm not. His heritage, at this point, what I would say is that Trump may believe that he may not get a fair shake from a Mexican judge. A judge of Mexican descent, I think, is probably a safer way to say that, because I don't know where this Gonzalo Curel came from originally. Hopefully he did come from south of the border and worked his way up and is willing to has the ability to show that one can do such a thing. One can be a hard-working Mexican and come here and make a better life for themselves. I just don't buy the whole Trump is some kind of overt racist thing. I can see why you think it. Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale. Totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,439, silver at $16.31, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,388. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, physicians from 2 top universities are calling on Congress to promptly investigate the deaths of 6 migrant children in the government's custody, warning that the widely reported poor conditions in detention centers could be putting thousands of children at risk for infectious diseases. The Mind Unleashed reports that 3 of the 6 children who died while in U.S. custody since last September died partially because they had contracted influenza. 2 died after spending twice the amount of time in a Border Patrol station than the Department of Homeland Security typically allows. About 2,000 migrant children are in U.S. custody on any given day, many after a grueling journey from Central America and elsewhere. The children are in Border Patrol stations, where many have been kept for far longer than the facilities are equipped to house people. Detention centers run by ICE and the Health and Human Services Department, and facilities run by for-profit government contractors like CoreCivic. The doctors urge lawmakers to probe how the widely reported unsanitary conditions in the centers contributed to the deaths that have been recorded. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A new report from Georgetown Law's Center on Privacy and Technology suggests that Immigration and Customs Enforcement may be using illegal immigration as a type of cover to track and spy on Americans in violation of their Fourth Amendment rights. Activist Post reports that 3 years ago, the center revealed that nearly half of all U.S. adults are already in the FBI's facial recognition database, which is largely sourced from DMV photos. ICE has apparently requested special access to Department of Motor Vehicles databases in at least 3 states, Utah, Washington State, and Vermont, which the federal agency plans to use in conjunction with facial recognition technology to scan people's driver's license photos and match them against criminal and residency databases, all without their knowledge or consent. The documents uncovered this week are the first confirmation that states have granted ICE specifically, not just the FBI, access to those databases. The CIA has released a batch of documents detailing how their Office of Public Affairs staff met with film director Michael Bay and successfully leaned on him to make changes to the script to his film 13 Hours. The Mind Unleashed reports that the 2016 action thriller is the only major movie Hollywood has produced about the attacks on the United States Special Mission in Benghazi and the nearby CIA annex. It grossed less than $70 million against a $50 million budget, and is the least commercially successful film Bay has ever produced. While audiences rated 13 Hours more highly than critics, the film's attempt to capitalize on the politics of the Benghazi attacks largely failed. The documents released under the Freedom of Information Act reveal that Bay first approached the CIA in March 2015, weeks before production started. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
The Princeton Medical Institute has found that the most common deathbed regret, more than losing contact with family or spending too much time at the office, is never having sprayed a fire extinguisher all over the place.
Similar themes emerged in our interviews with dying patients. Some wished that they'd taken more risks. Others wished that they'd lived a life truer to their dreams. But almost every single person surveyed, regardless of their age or circumstance, said that their most significant regret was never having grabbed a fire extinguisher off a wall and blasted it around a room until it ran out of foam.
I've lived a good life. I was a nurse for 32 years. I have 3 beautiful children, but I've never smashed my elbow into a glass case, grabbed a fire extinguisher, and gone whoosh over everything.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. That's what we do on Free Talk Live. If it's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, then we're very likely live here taking your calls. Free Talk Live has produced a new and unique show for every day of the week, going back close to a decade.
15, more than that.
We've been on the air more than a decade. We've been doing 7 days a week. We were doing 6 days a week for a while, 5 days a week for a period of time.
Yeah, we didn't have a Sunday show until like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah. Right. I mean, way back, we were a weekend show on just a Saturday night, but that's back in like 2004, just in Sarasota.
Yeah, just in Florida. Right.
So, we've been doing this for a hobby or for a living since, say, 2006, and a hobby since 2002. So.
Yeah, 2006 is about when I came on, I think.
Yeah. All right, let's go to James calling in from California. Get right to your calls here. James, you're on Free Talk Live.
I predict you'll be retired.
All right, I figured that might be the James that I thought it was. As I mentioned, it is hard to get banned here from Free Talk Live, but, so there at the very least is one person who has managed to do it.
And that was him?
Yeah, you'd think that he'd come to the conclusion he can't get on the air. It's not like I can't hear him. Does he think I'm going to fall for it? I'm just going to start yik-yakking with him? The man has threatened to kill my mother and my child.
Yeah,
screw that guy.
That's about the only way you get banned from this show. And
right.
Yeah, screw him.
And he claims that's a lie, and I've got it in like quotation marks and footnoted. I write this stuff down, and it's legally an affidavit. Now, why I can't get him arrested is beyond me. That guy Shapiro, Ben Shapiro, he managed to get some kind of stalker guy who bothered him. In 2 weeks, wham bam, the local police contact the FBI. They've got this all wrapped up. But
Ben Shapiro's show is just a little bit bigger than ours.
When you say that.
Just a little bit.
How many stations is he on? I don't know. I mean, we've been around for a lot longer. He's on a major network? I think it's because he's in a major city where they don't put up with that crap.
Yeah, that
versus Keene, New Hampshire, where the local police are bad at the Free Staters, and they're like, you bring this stuff on yourself. Well, I'm not one of those people that you think is a problem. You've never seen me arrested, pal. But whatever. Can't get any service out of a public servant, and if you don't like it, stop paying your taxes. Oh, don't do that because they'll throw you in jail or take your house away. So, we went through the article here on whether or not Trump was racist, and from Vox.com, they don't seem willing to take a side, although they do a great job of sort of showing both sides here. One side says basically he's a bigot, but he's not racist. And, I mean, as though bigot isn't strong enough of a word.
Yeah.
It's got to be racist.
Well, the thing about it is, does it really matter in the end? And they do get into this at the very end of this article. Does it really matter if he's a racist or a bigot or some of both? Because do you really want a bigoted president either?
I don't want anything. When it comes to Donald Trump, he's in office because the Democrats were willing to put up with a liar and a cheat. And, I don't know if Hillary Clinton did cheat in the 2016 election.
But it sure looked bad.
But when she got Wasserman Schultz in and Kaine out, and then Kaine then becomes the vice presidential nominee, it all looks like a whole bunch of log rolling and back scratching going on, as though she was going to make sure she didn't lose to some young upstart one more time. And Bernie Sanders had a lot of momentum.
Oh, yeah.
And he couldn't get anywhere because the superdelegates, the entrenched Democratic, people that are just, super Democrats, right? They wouldn't let him get an opportunity.
Yeah, true. And
if it hadn't been for the superdelegates, I think that he would have gotten a lot more momentum, and I think he would have won.
He probably would have. And, there were a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters that just would not. They were so mad at Hillary that they would not vote for her.
Right. There were Bernie Sanders supporters that switched over and voted for Clinton. There were ones that refused to vote, period. There were ones that went and voted third party.
Mm-hmm.
And then
there were actually ones that went and voted for Trump.
Then there were ones who went and voted for Trump. Now, I didn't vote for Donald Trump because I wasn't going to be responsible for what happened. I predicted his win in the Republican side, but I didn't really expect him to win against Hillary Clinton. I thought it was close enough that I'm surprised that it went to him. But I'm not going to vote for the guy because I don't believe what he believes. I was willing to vote for Gary Johnson because in 2012, Gary Johnson said lots of sort of anti-war things, and I presumed that he would stick with some of those in 2016. It was the same guy saying them, although maybe they weren't as popular as they were. But, you only have about 4 people you can vote for: the Democrat, the Republican, the Libertarian, and the Green. And those are the ones that have a statistical chance of winning because they have enough states in which they that they're on the ballot in enough states.
Right.
And ultimately, it doesn't matter which one of you vote or if you vote at all, because there hasn't been an presidential election at this point that has been won by one vote. And you only have one vote.
There hasn't even been one that's been won by like 100 or 1,000 votes, has there?
Maybe I think hundreds down in more than 100 down in Florida in 2000.
Oh yeah, the Bush versus Gore, yeah.
And this most recent
Hanging
one was
Chad.
probably there was at least one state that was separated by hundreds of votes, but I think that was New Hampshire and that went to Clinton. So I couldn't say entirely as to what the case is. Anyway, going on here from Trump, and this is about him wanting to ban video games. So we got it kind of off track there with, because people love to say Trump's a racist, and I just don't know what that means. I know what racist means because I could read a dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also heard, at this point, I've seen liberal types complaining that they don't like it when people trot out the dictionary to define racism or feminism. Or, sexism.
Yeah, I've seen that one too.
And if that's the case, then if we don't have the dictionary anymore to define words, exactly where do we get our definitions from? And so that leaves me in a really weird spot. Going on here, he says, this is from Trump. I'm hearing more and more people say that the level of violence in video games is really shaping young people's thoughts. And you go the further step, and that's the movies. You see these movies, and they're so violent, and yet kids are able to see the movie if sex isn't involved, but killing is involved, and maybe they have to put a rating system for that.
There's already a rating system for that because, we went through this a few decades back too. And,
Well, don't forget that the comic books were even before that.
Oh, yeah.
So back in the 1950s, they created the Comics Code Authority. And this was created because, why? Let's see. Really popular comics before, say, World War II were like sort of detective stuff. Mm-hmm. Lurid, certainly crimes that are committed, but crimes often have a lurid component to it. And then, then the ones that are big and important are the war comics. Mm-hmm. From 1940 through 1945, these were the comics. Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos, Captain America, The Shield, and a whole bunch of others out there. But then the war's gone. Comic books still need to sell. What are we going to do? Well, then you've got aliens, you've got horror, you've got romance, you've got a variety of them out there, and
just about anything in comics.
Sure, it's just it's a medium, right? Graphic novels, but they didn't want young people seeing these horror comics. So the horror comics always had a big scary monster dragging off some woman in her nightgown, right? Because turns out that the people who buy comic books are boys between the ages of, say, 10 and 16. And boys between the ages of 10 and 16 can't get the nudie books, but they can get a comic book with a little side boob drawn in, right?
Right.
And, they actually had congressional hearings on comic books, and it scared the comic book industry. They put their own rating system involved.
Yeah. Every medium, it seems like they're doing this.
They probably did it with, Beowulf. Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733.
What good is it living in a free country if you don't live a free life? You're stuck going to a job or a stressful business. You're stuck in a relationship where you're pretty much a slave. That isn't happiness. You were meant for bigger and better things. There's another way to live. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income, location-independent businesses, and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge Wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. The number, 855-450-3733. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
I want to tell you about the Discord lines. If you go to discord.freetalklive.com, that is, it's a place where people are chatting, but you can also call in. We have 4 on-air call-in lines that are available to you right there. If you go to discord.freetalklive.com, you'll have to download an app, and there's a few steps involved. You have to create a username, that kind of thing. It's not difficult by any means. If you've been on the internet, you understand how this is done. But it's just a much better sound quality if you call in that way.
The sound quality is a lot better. You sound almost like you're right here in the studio with us. And even if you don't call in, you can chat with other Free Talk Live listeners.
Yeah, and the people, we were at one point using Skype, and people sounded just as good on Skype. But God, that Microsoft tech is just so invasive and nitty gritty. I mean, like you couldn't turn the sounds off. I can't have it going bing, doop 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 on the air. I can't have that.
Yeah,
so
we had to dump it.
Yeah, we had to get rid of it. And this is I think this is a lot better. We have lots of people. Hundreds of people in that are, signed up for our chat room here, and they have a great old time. They're just chatting away right now, talking about, God knows what in there. So it's discord.freetalklive.com if you want to find out more about that. Pardon me. I've got this article here from the Ron Paul Institute. Mm-hmm. We've been talking about Tulsi Gabbard quite a bit here on Free Talk Live, lots of libertarians are talking about Tulsi Gabbard because she is, she's mildly anti-war, at least mildly anti these wars.
Mm-hmm. That she is.
Yeah, she's a veteran. It's about the only thing that distinguishes her from the other Democrats, but the other Democrats have nothing that distinguishes themselves from each other. It's basically like, well, I've been a politician for a long time. Well, I'm a woman, and I haven't been a politician for as long. I am a black man, and I've been a politician for a while. I'm a black woman, and I've been a cop and a politician. Like, that's all they got.
What have you got?
And there's really no distinguishing these candidates one way or the other. It's left to zingers and these sorts of things. But I want to talk about Ron Paul's, or at least the Ron Paul Institute's article here on Tulsi Gabbard. Before I do that, though, I want to talk about My Magic Mud. Ron Paul's from Texas. So is My Magic Mud. And they were big supporters of Ron Paul. I'll bet you he's used My Magic Mud.
He may very well have.
He's most probably been sent some My Magic Mud. I don't know why that should motivate you, that Ron Paul has put My Magic Mud on his teeth. But I certainly have put it on mine, and I would recommend you put it on yours. And here's the reason. Because oral health is important.
Yeah,
Kissing people is fun to do. People want to kiss people with better oral health. So there you go. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder made of charcoalized coconut shells and bentonite clay. Now, those are pretty natural ingredients, and if you know anything about them, good choices for a toothpaste. But not only is it clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I feel like it gets my teeth cleaner. I'm confident that that's the case. They feel like they do when I get out of a tooth cleaning. So you can get your Magic Mud, and I recommend you do. As a matter of fact, I recommend so strongly that you do that if you listen to nothing else I say here on the air, if you hate me with a passion, like a guy who called in recently, I still recommend that you get My Magic Mud because it's good for your teeth. Most major health food stores have it. Sprouts, Amazon, CVS, Natural Grocers. That's a brand name, by the way. There's a place called Natural Grocers.
Yes, I've been there.
I haven't. And Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle. I have been to Walmart's. But you can also go to mymagicmud.com, which I have also been to. By the way, if you go to Amazon, they've got a sale right now on some of their toothpastes, not the tooth powder. I don't know about the tooth powder. I didn't see that today, but I saw some toothpastes were on sale. 50% off. That's a big deal. And if you go there, make sure you leave a review because they appreciate that. But if you go to mymagicmud.com, you can get 20% off with coupon code FTL20.
Yeah. Now, I've been using their toothpaste, and that's just as good.
Yeah, it's great stuff. I don't think it works as quickly as the tooth powder does, but
it still gets everything clean.
It's good toothpaste. There's no doubt. mymagicmud.com, coupon code FTL20. Coming from the Ron Paul Institute with Daniel McAdams writing, I don't know who he is, but I will say that I have seen his name on articles in the past, so,
we'll go from there.
Whatever. This is written sort of almost in the first person. He's writing here. When BuzzFeed's Rosie Gray contacted Dr. Paul yesterday for a comment for her latest piece, Tulsi Gabbard is this election's Ron Paul, Dr. Paul and I discussed what the article might look like and how his comment might be used or misused. Knowing Gray was an obsessive Russiagate promoter and manic never Trumper, my view was that she would distort any Ron Paul quote to make it look bad for Gabbard, who Gray and the rest of the establishment journalists despise. He declined to comment. That's Ron Paul. Proving my suspicions, Gray nevertheless twisted his polite decline into a slap in Gabbard's face. It's not hard to spot Gray's spin from Ron Paul's decline. Here's the quote. Paul declined to comment for this piece through his spokesperson, Ron Paul Institute Executive Director Daniel McAdams. But other prominent libertarians and Paul insiders were eager to praise Gabbard. So, I guess that's a slap in Gabbard's face. If you think that Ron Paul's nuts.
I guess.
See how that works? Others were eager to praise Gabbard, but Ron Paul declined. That's how a hit piece takes shape. Okay. Yep. I'll take your word for it. Of course, Ms. Gray's email invitation for comment never led on that her intent was to attack rather than to report. I'm doing a piece about Tulsi Gabbard, and I was wondered if Dr. Paul might be available to speak to me for the story. Basically, it's about ways in which her campaign is thematically echoing Dr. Paul's presidential campaigns. Sounds innocent. Journalists like Gray are always innocent while they twist and manipulate the pieces of their stories into appropriately loaded assault weapons. No wonder Americans now believe that the media is more destructive than banks and large corporations.
Yeah, this one's pretty obvious.
I think that like the people that find Tulsi Gabbard distasteful would already found Ron Paul distasteful, and they're like, any reasonable person would find Ron Paul distasteful, so they want to associate the two. Mm-hmm. I think there's an argument for what she's saying, but I mean, Tulsi Gabbard's campaign hasn't taken off like Ron Paul's did. Ron Paul was basically sucked into the vacuum that was his campaign. I mean,
you've got a point there. I mean, I was here in 2007 when he ran for the first time, and I watched a lot of this happen.
Right.
I saw his very first very tentative speech at the 2007 Liberty Forum.
Yep.
And you could just see he goes from, I'm not sure I want to do this, to Ron Paul Revolution.
Right. The room came down when I was in that same speech. Tears tracked down my face because I'd never heard a politician stand in front of a room and speak like Ron Paul had spoken about the things that he was speaking about. I was really excited about them. Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you. Would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You can call in and talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
The number's 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. I want to tell you about Edge Wallet. Michael, do you use this app?
I do use Edge Wallet.
Yeah, I use Edge Wallet too. I have used many different cryptocurrency wallets, but Edge Wallet is my favorite. Not just because it looks like they named it after me, Mark Edge.
I'm not sure if they did or not.
I just like the it's slick. It works well.
It's really problems, easy to use.
Less terrifying than some wallets are out there have been in the past. You can use it on iOS or Android. You can buy, sell, trade, and securely hold cryptocurrencies right in your Edge Wallet. You basically could run a whole trading account inside your Edge Wallet if you wanted to.
Yeah, just about.
It's user controlled. You own your own money. There's the Edge Wallet folks don't have your private keys or anything like that. That's it. Makes it really important that you remember your username and password. And by the way, that's another aspect. A lot of these wallets have these 12 words or 24 words that you have to write down, and if you don't have them, then you don't get your money back or whatever. Well, Edge Wallet is a simple username and password. You drop your phone in the toilet, look. You go get your new phone, you put the Edge Wallet on, you use your username and password, you're in shape. So that's pretty cool. It's got support for BTC, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Stellar, and many, 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 many
There's
more.
a lot of cryptos in there.
Yeah, veteran team building since 2014, and you can secure your freedom at edge.app. Edge.app, as in A-P-P, edge.app. Let's go to the phones. We got Matthew calling in from Louisiana, listening on YouTube. Matthew, you're on Free Talk Live.
All right, so I don't know if anybody brought this up, but I don't think that Trump just really has come close to losing the election. About the only reason I'm motivated to vote for him at all, which is not a whole lot, is because he hasn't done anything to crush the oil industry. And Obama didn't crush us. He did hurt us, but he didn't crush us. But in the meantime, he's still subsidizing those stupid windmills and those, solar panels. And now he's taken a ding at the Second Amendment and a ding at the First Amendment.
Now, wait a second. On the solar panels, I tend to agree with anything that's anti-wind. I think wind's a big mess. But solar panels are getting better and better. Let me ask you this. When you say subsidy...
Can they survive without subsidies?
I don't know the answer to that. I can't tell you. I'm asking you this. When you say subsidy, do you mean a tax break for buying them, or do you mean that the companies like Solyndra are out there getting free money from the government?
It's not a tax break that you get from buying the solar panels.
Yep.
It's a tax credit.
Okay, tax credit. All right.
If they were just tax deductible, not an issue there. It's a tax. But then you ought to do the same thing for somebody who puts in a backup generator, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion.
So,
and I'm still free to express my opinion.
You certainly are. I just want to make sure what we're talking about here. So you're calling the tax credits subsidies, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
All right. Go on
Same
with your
thing as
point.
for electric cars.
So Donald Trump has now taken a couple of shots at the Second Amendment?
Yep. He's put a couple of dings in it. And you go over to the Truth About Guns and you read the comments about this topic.
Yep.
The red flag laws. And that's a deliberate mispronunciation because it's a communist idea that's going to get you in the butt. They are not happy over there about him. And I can't say I blame them.
So,
not one cop ticket.
Well,
you go over to the gamer YouTube channels and they're just fit to be tied about him saying that the video games cause people to cook off and go shoot them up in, Walmarts or gun-free zones. Oh, by the way,
it's totally
Walmart
ridiculous.
was a gun-free zone.
It is ridiculous. I don't know that, the problem with elections, because here in America, basically the elections are, for when it comes to presidential election, you get two candidates, red and blue, and those are your choices. I don't see the Democratic candidate coming out and being any better towards guns or any better towards video games out there. I would find that to be unlikely. So,
it's very unlikely. But some people just may be in the mood for, hey, let's have another civil war. The first one worked out great.
How does the presidential election going to work into a civil war?
Well, because if somebody gets in office that actually plans on gun confiscation at some point, somebody who is a sympathetic figure to the public at large is going to have the old "we're taking your guns" thing away. They're going to shoot back. It's going to cause another Bundy-style standoff, and this time they're coming loaded for bear.
I don't know if they're going to come and take guns. I mean, I really don't think they're going to do that because it's so difficult.
They don't have to. I've been thinking about this for a little while. I don't think they actually have to come and take anybody's guns. Not on a large scale. And the reason why is because people won't use them. Nobody in the middle of Texas, where everybody owns a gun and lots of people conceal carry, nobody shot back at this guy this weekend.
No, you have to understand that store was, in fact, a gun-free zone. That's unusual for a Walmart. The Walmart managers can work with local law enforcement to decide the policy in their store.
I think that was that shopping mall, actually.
The shopping mall next to the Walmart.
The shopping mall next door to it was a gun-free zone.
Yeah,
too.
that one I understand.
Okay.
From what I saw posted by a commenter on T-Tag.
Well, so here's what they did in Australia and they did in New Zealand. They did a gun buyback, assault weapon buyback combo. They basically banned them and then they did a buyback at the same time. Now, they haven't been very successful, but at the same time, no one's selling them either. And I think that people just go out and bury them in their yard for the big one, you know? Yeah. And if that's the case, then what good is an assault rifle if it's buried in the backyard? Maybe you've got it hidden in your house because you don't expect to get your house shaken down or whatever, but I don't think they'll actually come door to door.
The time you're thinking about burying them is probably the time you need to be digging them up.
Oh, well, probably true.
I totally agree with that.
So I don't know that. I agreed. Trump is not endearing himself to the gun folks at this point, but it's a long election cycle.
Anybody who cares about liberty,
agreed.
But, I would vote. I would vote for the Libertarian Party, except for this no border, no wall, no USA at all thing y'all got going on. Naked pandering to the Koch brothers, and what they do? They go and support the Democrats.
I did that Koch.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing: is I don't blame anyone for their vote in the presidential election. You've never heard me say you should have done this or you should have done that, because the first and most important part is your vote is statistically insignificant. So I'm not going to get mad at you over something that didn't matter. Secondly, if you're mad at Trump over, I don't know, the way he treats Mexican people or the way he treats gay people or whatever, then okay. Does that mean you're going to go vote for the Democrat?
What has he ever done to gay people?
I don't know.
I don't understand the homophobia.
Everybody is a vilified underclass, okay? Here you are, a gun owner, calling in and you're upset.
That sounds like some kind of a French dish. Would you care for some vilified underclass?
Well, that doesn't sound too bad right now. Yeah, I mean, so if somebody decides to vote for the Democrat, whoever that might be, maybe it's Warren, maybe it's Gabbard, I don't have any idea who it's going to be. I don't blame them. I'll advocate for the person that I think is better choice, and the more I advocate, the more I believe in them, the more I'll advocate. I advocated pretty thoroughly for Ron Paul, but since then I haven't. Yep. Thanks for the call, Matthew. Appreciate it.
Y'all have a great night. Ciao.
855-450-3733. 855-450 free, as in Free Talk Live. That's what spells out the letters. Or discord.freetalklive.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-919-5435. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-919-5435. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-919-5435. 1-800-919-5435.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Introducing Reveal from GCNLife.com. Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman invented Reveal, which contains polypeptides with natural botanicals and no parabens, sulfates, silicones, or dyes for a salon-quality hair growth product. Reveal. Here's Dr. Newman.
I have treated a lot of patients who lose their hair and they lose their confidence. We've created a unique set of polypeptides, which we call HPT6. The HPT6 contains the polypeptides from 6 different plants. The scalp infusion treatment should be used on wet or dry scalp. The Reveal hair care system is designed to be used for men and women alike.
Get Reveal at GCNLife.com with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try Reveal today at GCNLife.com or 844-443-6637. Plus a discount up to 25% off for Reveal at GCNLife.com or 844-443-6637.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
Live video of our Keene, New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
Oh, shoot. Professional broadcasters here. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
We're going on into this article here about Tulsi Gabbard and how the Ron Paul Institute was asked for some kind of quote on Tulsi Gabbard for an article that was supposed to be like, is Tulsi Gabbard the new Ron Paul or something like that? And the article writer here is not happy at all about the way that Ron Paul was sort of drug through the mud, is the way he sounds it. But anyway, he goes on. The others who are eager to praise Gabbard, these are libertarian sorts, are all non-Democrats, and that was the setup for her piece from the beginning. A former Ron Paul campaign aide was quoted as speaking favorably about her, along with a Reason magazine editor and a conservative Republican who once advised a Ron Paul presidential campaign. No Democrats, right? So, yeah, I do praise Gabbard on some of her
policy positions,
and other ones I don't think are great. I realize that there is going to be a Democratic nominee for president in sometime happening here in 2020. So if there's going to be a nominee, and there is, then at this point, my hope for that nominee is to be Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, she's one of the better ones we've seen from the current crop of Democrats.
Yeah. So, it's not that I'm hoping that she is president. I'm not hoping that she is. I'm not advocating that I may have a leader or whatever these libertarians out here that want to diss her have to say. Look, I think that there's some great arguments against Tulsi Gabbard. But let's not forget that the president is the commander-in-chief of the United States military. That means that they have the most power that they have over the military. Now, if Tulsi Gabbard wants universal health care, single payer, whatever the other things are that she wants, all those things have to go through Congress. If Tulsi Gabbard wants to move 500,000 troops to Syria, she can do that without asking anybody.
Yeah, presidents have been doing that for years.
So, am I advocating that Tulsi Gabbard be, the next president of the United States? Let me think about it. Let me determine what I think about Trump here. I haven't really figured this guy out. He's just too mercurial for me. But at this point, he really hasn't fought himself. He hasn't claimed his own war. And I like that. I've heard from antiwar.com that he, that there's been plenty of drone bombing going on, and that, making it very difficult to report on it because he doesn't, release any information like the Obama administration did. But I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say if they're not admitting to actually doing things that they're doing?
Right. I don't know. I mean, if I don't have the information, I don't have the information. Before I go on, I'm going to go back to the phones. I got Jason calling in from Tampa. Jason, you're on Free Talk Live.
How you guys doing tonight?
All's well. What's on your mind, Jason?
It alludes to, I guess, the gun control that we're probably going to have to face. But it's a story. It's a bit of a moral dilemma for me, and I wanted to get you guys' take on it. And,
sure.
And hear me out. It's correlated, but it might take a minute. But when I was in high school, I was playing a baseball game, and the catcher was way too close, and I actually tapped his, on the first strike, I hit his glove.
Okay.
And I looked back, and I told him, I was like, dude, I hit your glove. And I told the umpire, and the umpire was like, did he hit your glove? And the guy he lied. He said, no, he didn't hit my glove.
All right.
So on the neck, and the guy, mind you this, the guy that was pitching threw over 90. I can't touch 90.
Yeah.
I still today couldn't touch 90.
This is a high school baseball team?
Right.
Okay.
So I figured this is my out. Like, this guy's going to stick his glove out again, and I'm not touching 90, so I'm just going to do what I have to do. And on the next pitch, he threw the catcher, put his mitt out, and instead of, dropping down at like a 45, like you're supposed to,
yep,
throwing the hands of the ball, I chopped wood, and I came down damn near at a 90, and I broke his hand and pulled his glove off.
Oh, wow.
All right. Sad story.
Yeah, I mean, his glove was out in front of home plate, and his hand he had 3 bones that I broke.
Okay.
And so my question, does that make me an ass?
Does it make you an ass?
Yeah.
I don't know what it makes you. It seems like he was too close, and it's a violent game. I don't know what I think. I would have to sort of be there. The best I can tell from the description, I don't know. Were you trying to tap his glove, or you were trying to knock his hand off?
No, I broke his hand.
Did you do it on purpose, or did you, were you trying to just get out of the game, trying to get a walk because you tapped his glove? I don't really know how this all works.
Well, the thing is though, is like if the guy was hittable, like if he was, in mid 80s, like I probably don't take that route. But the fact that I tapped his glove on the first strike, I was like, you know what, I got an out here.
But what is the out? How did you get out? What happened?
I beat his glove off his hand and broke his hand.
I gotcha. What did that result in the game?
I got on first base.
Okay.
Interference.
I'm not familiar enough with the game. I get where you're going.
Okay.
All right. So what I would say is that I think that it was over the top as a choice.
Yeah, but you made your point.
But it doesn't surprise me that two young men, with all that testosterone flowing through them, would choose to make those choices because both of them really want to win. They both really want to do what they want to do. I think that what we have is a pair of asses, and one ass beat the other ass. So now you got my opinion.
That sounds about right. You definitely made your point there.
Well, so as far as the asses are concerned, I win.
Yes. What is tie it together?
You win at being an ass.
I'm good at being an ass. I appreciate that. You guys have a wonderful night.
All right. Thanks for the call. There's your story about him, breaking a guy's hand in baseball.
Well, that's the thing. If the catcher's got his glove so far forward that
that you can hit it,
that you can hit it, that's interfering with the swing.
Yeah, that's why he got on base, even though the guy's hand got broken. I mean, it's a sad story, but this is how sports are. People get competitive. They probably are looking, they look back in their lives and maybe they would have made a different choice, but in that moment you're like, I want to win.
Yeah, and this guy is not admitting that that he stuck his hand too far forward. So yeah, I can see where he's coming from and wanting to teach this guy a lesson.
This is basically the debate that's going on with high school football right now is that these guys are getting hit repeatedly, getting concussions all over a game that they're unlikely to ever really make any money at.
Most people don't.
Yeah, most people don't. Most of the college players out there are not going to go on to the NFL. They're not going to make, the money that they hope to make, and they're blowing their knees out or banging their heads around for basically nothing. When it comes to college, they might get a scholarship. Hopefully, they play good enough to stay on the team, and they get that free degree, and they can do something with it.
Yeah, do something with their lives because most people that play college football are not going to play professionally, and even most people who play in high school are not going to play in college.
It's a shame to see even high school students, being carried off the field.
So, ruining your head, getting that concussion can. It might affect you only for a week, but it might affect the rest of your whole life.
We had a co-host here on Free Talk Live, Daryl Perry. I'm sure many longtime listeners do remember him, and he had a terrible problem with concussions.
Yeah, he got one recently that he's had it for a couple of weeks. He's still trying to recover from it.
Yeah, and the doctors don't really know what to do with him. So it's not nice.
It will ruin your life.
855-450-3733. Go on with the story here about Tulsi Gabbard. 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. Your calls are welcome, however. That's what we do here on Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealestate.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,439, silver at $16.31, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,388. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, physicians from 2 top universities are calling on Congress to promptly investigate the deaths of 6 migrant children in the government's custody, warning that the widely reported poor conditions in detention centers could be putting thousands of children at risk for infectious diseases. The Mind Unleashed reports that 3 of the 6 children who died while in U.S. custody since last September died partially because they had contracted influenza. 2 died after spending twice the amount of time in a Border Patrol station than the Department of Homeland Security typically allows. About 2,000 migrant children are in U.S. custody on any given day, many after a grueling journey from Central America and elsewhere. The children are in Border Patrol stations, where many have been kept for far longer than the facilities are equipped to house people. Detention centers run by ICE and the Health and Human Services Department, and facilities run by for-profit government contractors like CoreCivic. The doctors urge lawmakers to probe how the widely reported unsanitary conditions in the centers contributed to the deaths that have been recorded. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A new report from Georgetown Law's Center on Privacy and Technology suggests that Immigration and Customs Enforcement may be using illegal immigration as a type of cover to track and spy on Americans in violation of their Fourth Amendment rights. Activist Post reports that 3 years ago, the center revealed that nearly half of all U.S. adults are already in the FBI's facial recognition database, which is largely sourced from DMV photos. ICE has apparently requested special access to Department of Motor Vehicles databases in at least 3 states, Utah, Washington State, and Vermont, which the federal agency plans to use in conjunction with facial recognition technology to scan people's driver's license photos and match them against criminal and residency databases, all without their knowledge or consent. The documents uncovered this week are the first confirmation that states have granted ICE specifically, not just the FBI, access to those databases. The CIA has released a batch of documents detailing how their Office of Public Affairs staff met with film director Michael Bay and successfully leaned on him to make changes to the script to his film 13 Hours. The Mind Unleashed reports that the 2016 action thriller is the only major movie Hollywood has produced about the attacks on the United States Special Mission in Benghazi and the nearby CIA annex. It grossed less than $70 million against a $50 million budget and is the least commercially successful film Bay has ever produced. While audiences rated 13 Hours more highly than critics, the film's attempt to capitalize on the politics of the Benghazi attacks largely failed. The documents released under the Freedom of Information Act reveal that Bay first approached the CIA in March 2015, weeks before production started. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
This is the Onion Week in Review. A study published Friday by the University of Minnesota found that mosquitoes have no physiological reason for biting humans, with researchers noting that the insects feed exclusively on pollen and seemingly only suck human blood out of spite.
According to our findings, mosquitoes usually spit out the blood after a bite. They just really enjoy ruining outdoor activities and spreading deadly diseases.
Researchers added that mosquitoes often bite a variety of vertebrates besides humans, including baby pandas, koala bears, and very small puppies, all for fun. And in tech news, a new Visa talking credit card urges buyers to go for it.
Come on, buy it. You know you want it.
In other news, the utterance of a secret password grants customers access to a long-rumored 18-inch Subway sandwich. It's easy to tell what an area man would look like as a skeleton, and a longtime teacher retires without changing a single student's life. This week's scheduled interview with the surly and forlorn Matthew Modine was cut for time and is doomed to never be seen. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
Kicking off the final hour of Free Talk Live, it's Mark with you.
And Michael.
Michael, thanks for sitting in. Aria is, well, sitting with us. So basically, you were on one time with Aria, the three of us?
Yeah, we did a show, the three of us together. My understanding is I was supposed to be a recurring Monday night host.
Yes, and then, that's my understanding at this point, too.
Then Aria had stuff start to happen at her other job on Monday nights, and she couldn't make it.
Right, and you two hosted a show called, host a show
called Call to Freedom.
Right, and that appears on the Liberty Radio Network.
Mm-hmm. That's an afternoon show.
Right, where people can call in and, talk and, do whatever you guys just, it's basically another Liberty show, right?
Another Liberty show. We do a lot of philosophy, religion, cryptocurrency issues, stuff like that.
There you go. And, well, thanks for sitting in with me. We're reading an article here from the Ron Paul Institute, where the guy in charge of the Ron Paul Institute, whatever his name is, I read it earlier, Daniel McAdams, he's kind of pointing out what this journalist, in air quotes here, is doing to the Tulsi Gabbard campaign.
Yeah, if it's from BuzzFeed, you have to put journalist in quotes.
I don't know. Is she from BuzzFeed?
That's what he said in the first paragraph.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Anyone with a critical eye on the news media can spot Gray's intent. Destroy Tulsi Gabbard by pushing the narrative that she's not really a Democratic Party candidate because so many non-Democrats are interested in her campaign. She's not one of us, in other words.
Yeah,
a Trojan horse.
She can get independent voters to vote for her, so we can't have her be the Democratic nominee.
That is a really crappy reason, right?
That's ridiculous. That's how you lose elections.
Right. Well, no, we got to keep the mainline Democrat that everybody else hates in here. We got to keep old Creepy Joe, or got to have Rapey McRape Hands, Bernie Sanders.
We can't have centrists running as our candidate. No. Has to be as far left as you can get.
Yeah. The Democratic candidates, the mainline ones, are all the same in rhetoric and all crappy from where they come from. They've all got points where you can just knock their legs out from underneath them. I'm not saying you can't do it with Trump either, but they need something new. They need something desperately new. That's one of the reasons I kind of like this Yang guy, even though I like nothing he stands for. He's just kind of, at least he's coming out and he's saying something a little different than the rest of these creepy people are doing.
Yeah, he's new and different. He wants to give everybody $1,000 a month. So
Tulsi Gabbard, she's coming out and saying, "Look, I was a vet, and these wars suck."
Yeah, well, if you listen to vets, pretty much all of them will tell you the same thing. But no one listens to vets.
Not that I'm supporting any one of these, I'm only supporting them for the Democratic nomination, which isn't the president. I mean, somebody's going to be the nominee. Anyway, anyone with a critical, her piece after the first Democratic debate, that's the author here. Tulsi Gabbard is having a MAGA moment after her debate performance, makes her point with all the subtlety of a Stalin-era stenographer. More than any other Democrat candidate, Gabbard has developed a favorable presence in the right-wing media. So he's pointing out. You see, she did it right there. Gray, that's the author, hammers home her theme. Gabbard's not really a Democratic Party candidate. If you're a Democrat who's tempted to support her, remember, she's a right-winger, not a progressive politician. As many of Gray's other pieces are about how the right wing is racist, it doesn't take a weatherman to know which way Gray's wind blows. She's pulled the same trick out of her hat for this piece. No, Gabbard's campaign is not like Ron Paul's because she's been able to reach across party and ideological lines to appeal to a diverse group of potential voters, which could be a benefit in places like New Hampshire, a state with a libertarian flavor and liberal rules governing party registration for primary voters.
I've only been around Keene, but I've seen more Tulsi signs here in Keene than any other candidate.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't even noticed. It's like Ron Paul's race because she's attracting Ron Paul people, and Ron Paul people are all evil racists. Is the premise here that the author is suggesting that the other author is making. So here's Gray at her deceptive best. Tulsi Gabbard's campaign is just like Ron Paul's campaign, and Ron Paul is, and then the quote comes in, a highly controversial figure who dabbled in conspiracy thinking and whose connection to fringe politics dogged his campaign, especially when racist newsletters from the 1970s through the 1990s with his name on them were surfaced. Why Ron Paul even had the audacity to suggest that American military adventurism had proved a motive for the 9/11 attacks. Here's where,
it was. I mean, this is not news.
Yeah, here's where Gray shows her true colors. By taking the Giuliani side in the Giuliani moment, she openly embraces the long discredited neoconservative position that the resentment of the United States and the Muslim world is not because the U.S. government has been bombing and killing Muslims for the past 30 or more years. No, they hate us because we're so good and so free.
Yeah, try 60 or 70, but yeah, point taken.
Why is Rosie Gray so desperate to paint Tulsi Gabbard as an evil right-wing racist who in no way deserves the attention of any self-respecting Democratic Party voter? She's just doing the bidding of her paymasters. BuzzFeed's not the plucky independent news outlet it likes to portray itself as being. Its largest shareholder is NBC Universal, whose news component is as mainstream media can be. The NBC Universal has pumped at least $400 million into BuzzFeed. As any struggling media outlet will agree, $400 million does not a plucky upstart make.
Yeah, I mean, BuzzFeed used to be this small little plucky upstart thing, and they did like celebrity news and things like that, but then they started getting into politics and kind of started losing money by the fistful, and then I guess NBC bought them.
And, I do agree that any article I see on Tulsi Gabbard appears to be a hit piece. Now, that for me makes me, let's start looking at this.
Yeah, there was one in Newsweek from back in May that said she wanted to drop the charges against Julian Assange and pardon Edward Snowden.
She said that she would pardon Assange and Edward Snowden in the most recent thing here, and I think that that's very interesting. I'd like to see Ross Ulbricht added to the list.
Yeah, so would I.
I have promised to vote for Trump if he pardons Ross Ulbricht. At this
Ari
point,
said much the same thing. That she would vote for any candidate who would pardon Ross Ulbricht.
Well, Donald Trump actually has the ability to do it now, so I would like to see him put up before the election comes along. But I think that would draw in a bunch of libertarian votes that he wouldn't otherwise have. And at this point, votes are meaningful for Trump because his first election was rather close. And, I mean, he didn't win the majority of
popular vote,
votes. Yeah, he didn't win the popular vote, so it seems like he would be concerned with that. But that's, it's a promise I've made, and if he chooses not to do that, then I don't have to stick by the promise. The purpose of BuzzFeed is to appear edgy while keeping everyone on the reservation. You must support the mainstream Democratic candidates. There's a danger that Tulsi Gabbard might actually make a move to end the endless wars that provide a steady stream of income to the corporate news that partners with military-industrial complex to push the endless wars. Now, that is a conspiracy theory right there. I don't know what's true other than, yes, it seems like most of the articles against Tulsi Gabbard are hit pieces.
Yeah.
And yes, the mainstream news does not take a strong enough look at sort of foreign adventurism. But I think they could be doing that for a variety of reasons. I don't know what the reason.
They make enough money off of it. If it bleeds, it leads. I mean, that's been news rule number one forever.
That's why Gray and her propagandists in the mainstream media push the false narrative that President Trump was an agent of the Russian government. His campaign rhetoric about getting along with Russia and endless, pointless wars overseas was threatening big media's profits. Like most politicians, his promises proved to be a lot of hot air, but he still had to be kneecapped by the Fourth Estate, just in case. He goes on here, I'll give this to Gray. In one way, the Tulsi Gabbard campaign is like the Ron Paul campaign. The mainstream media hates both of their guts. But thankfully, the American people increasingly hate the mainstream media's guts. So there you go. This is what the Ron Paul Institute says about Tulsi Gabbard, and I largely agree with their assessment, is that why does every mainstream media article about Tulsi Gabbard have to be some kind of hit piece?
They don't want her getting the nomination. That's it.
855-450-3733. What do you think, listeners? What's the reason? 855-450-FREE.
Do you ever feel like no matter how free your country becomes, you aren't free? You're stuck in your job, a stressful business, or maybe a relationship, all of which where you're not allowed to do what you really want to do. There's another way to live. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income, location-independent businesses, and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite. Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. That's what we do here on Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
More and more people are being concerned with the online tracking of our movements and personal data via mobile phones. Gone are the days when only the bad guys were tracked. Now everyone's being tracked every minute by their mobile phones and tablets, and don't think that putting your phone in airplane mode will stop it. In airplane mode, your location history is still recorded by your phone and transmitted later when you reconnect. If you want to know how to stop tracking on your phone and prevent your phone from being hacked, you can visit godarkbags.com/FTL. Are you being treated like a wild animal, tagged and tracked for scientific study, so tech companies can make a fortune selling your location history? You value your privacy and want to be absolutely certain of your mobile phone cannot be hacked or its location tracked. You should get one of the Faraday bags by going to godarkbags at godarkbags.com/FTL. godarkbags.com/FTL. And I've heard about people who say, I talk about something with my friends and then it ends up an advertisement coming to me on Facebook. I've been having that happen to me recently.
Has it?
And it doesn't surprise me. Everybody's all concerned with Alexa and your Google Home thing or whatever it all is. You're carrying around a device that listens to you and tracks your location all the time.
That's true. Your phone pretty much knows what you're thinking. But I've tried one of these Go Dark bags and it does work. It does do exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah, mine did too. Yeah.
You have to actually fold the top over twice. There's a little warning about that. Fold the top over twice and you're good to go.
It's not waterproof, but it makes it more water resistant. So if you're going out on a boat or something like that, it's a good idea to pop it in.
If it falls overboard, you're still going to be in trouble. But if it just splashes some water on it, you should be fine.
Yeah. godarkbags.com/FTL.
But yeah, that has not happened to me yet, but I take some pretty extraordinary privacy measures on my computer and on my phone. So I have never had it happen to me where
you go to these hacker conventions and stuff. You know what all this stuff is. Should do an interview with you on just how to be more private online.
Yeah, I root my phone. I put an ad blocker on it, which is very hard to do on Android.
Is that so?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I guess iPhones are getting ad blockers now, but to stop this stuff, you really have to have an ad blocker on your phone, and right now it's very difficult to do on an Android.
Let's go real quick to David in New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind is what does real quick mean?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Couple things. For NPR, you promoted NPR earlier, so I want to talk about that.
I'm not promoting it, but I listen to it.
Well, it sounds very promotional to me, so I'm entitled to my own opinion.
All right.
It sounds very promotional. The earlier, is that what you mentioned earlier? Is that a Pakistani martial arts technique that you mentioned earlier?
What is that?
The Karachi chopping.
Karachi chopping.
Oh, yeah, you did say that, didn't you?
I did.
I completely missed that the first time.
Karachi chopping. Another fun one. The other day, you were talking about the E.T. Coincidentally, the woman who wrote E.T., Melissa Matheson, served me a glass of wine in her home in Jackson, Wyoming, at her ranch home.
I don't know how it is that you managed to find all these semi-famous people, but you certainly do. What was the term E.T.? I know, like I was a kid when E.T. came out. I know that the term extraterrestrial certainly existed prior to E.T. the movie. But did anyone use the term E.T. to describe aliens prior to the movie E.T.?
Well, I don't have the final answer, but I'm positive for my own purposes that ET was an abbreviation used for extraterrestrial long before that screenplay.
Okay.
I'm sure it was.
That's pretty good.
Oh, and by the way, Melissa Matheson, who wrote ET, she was Harrison Ford's wife at the time and the mother of his children.
Well, there you go.
He happened to be away from. Yeah. Anyway. And it was Halloween, and we were trick-or-treating, and we were obviously the only trick-or-treaters they were going to get because they lived out in the middle of nowhere where nobody but a few of us knew where they lived. And so I went with my girlfriend, who happens to be from the same area as Chris is from in Oregon, and she had hair down to her butt, so she put it up in Princess Leia buns and made herself an outfit to match, and then made an outfit for me to look like her brother.
Luke
Skywalker. And then we went and, yeah.
That way, that just in case Harrison Ford was home, you could have been a threesome. Get a picture there. Awesome. Great story, David. Thanks for the call. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE.
If you want to trip over a celebrity every 5 feet, go to Jackson, Wyoming. That's where they all are.
Is that so? Yeah. I mean, I've heard the name of the place.
It's a place for rich people to vacation. So.
Let's go to your story from Reason Magazine about the Democratic Socialists of America's convention, because this thing is hilarious.
Yeah, I just found this during the last news break. So, at the Democratic Socialists of America convention, clapping, chatter, and gendered language are considered triggering.
Oh, of course it is.
Of course it is.
Clapping,
yes. Though, well, you'll see why in just a second. This did come from Reason Magazine just today. Democratic Socialists earned some ridicule this weekend after video clips from their annual convention, which showed attendees objecting to clapping, disruptive chatter, and the use of gendered language on grounds that all of these things were triggering, appeared online. And they do link to some of the videos in here.
Disruptive chatter, like talking amongst yourself while the speaker's up there, somehow triggers.
That's disruptive and it's triggering.
God.
So,
I mean, I can't imagine why people even go to this thing. Is it just to pick up chicks?
And well, apparently there are actually some Democratic Socialists who are committed to the ideology.
Okay.
And presumably they were here. One person took to the podium to thank his fellow comrades for waving their hands in the air instead of clapping, since sudden loud noises can be harmful for easily perturbed members of the audience.
I am easily perturbed.
I've never been bothered by clapping. No. I can imagine somebody would be.
I don't like it when people clap for things I don't like.
There's somebody out there, I am sure, for whom clapping is a real problem. It could happen. I can see it happen.
Sure, somebody's an a-hole.
So, quote, "We have a lot of disabled comrades," he said. He reminded everyone to, quote, "avoid hissing, avoid waving banners. There's all sorts of things."
Avoid the things.
Oh, yeah, you have to avoid all the things.
No hissing. Do not express disapproval of a stupid idea.
Oh, no, don't. Well, it's Democratic Socialist Convention. You're not going to have anyone there that will do that.
Going on?
It's difficult, of course, to impose total silence on a political action conference.
Yeah, that would be difficult.
At one point, a convention delegate interrupted another person's speech about, quote, defeating capitalism, end quote, to make a, quote, quick point of personal privilege.
What is a quick point of personal privilege? About personal privilege? Or?
Yeah, about personal privilege.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The delegate began by reminding the audience that he uses he/him pronouns, and then implored, "Guys, please keep the chatter to a minimum because he's very prone to sensory overload."
Oh, God.
And what happened next?
855-450-3733 here on Free Talk Live. Back in a moment.
You love Bitcoin. It's the future, right? Well, no, not if everyone stops using it. I mean, think about it. How many places in your town take Bitcoin? One? None? Let's be real. If this Bitcoin thing is ever going to happen, it's going to need your help. The good news is the guys at AnyPay have your back. We built a website called helpmetakebitcoin.com, and it's a place you can send any business, and they'll be set up to take Bitcoin in 5 minutes. helpmetakebitcoin.com.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20, mymagicmud.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
A Rasmussen poll reveals that nearly all American voters share a deep fear of botching another election, with most voters admitting that selecting candidates for public office is something they're historically just not particularly good at.
I really hope I don't completely fuck things up as usual, but you never know. Things do happen.
According to the poll, 3/4 of voters said Election Day panic would cause them to base their vote entirely on hearsay, while 93% acknowledged that they only recognized names of local candidates from signs along state highways. In Cedar Rapids, Iowa, stunned friends and acquaintances expressed shock and disbelief when a body found in the woods turned out not to be Justin. Local residents found the naked corpse draped over a tree stump Saturday, and as news spread, many found themselves struggling to comprehend how it wasn't Justin lying dead in the forest.
I heard the news, and I still can't come around to it. I just can't imagine that it's not Justin there lying dead in the woods. Are they absolutely sure it's not him?
Friends and family are still urging authorities to double-check the body, or at the very least, bring in Justin as a suspect.
This is the Onion News Network.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. We're talking about the Democratic Socialist National Convention here on Free Talk Live, and it looks like it was a barrel of laughs with these folks. Real quick, though, I want to tell you about how you can get some gold. Right now, gold has been sort of on the move recently, and I think you're going to see it continue to move because there are more and more indicators of some kind of coming recession, and gold seems to be one of the places that people go during a recession.
Yeah, it's perceived as safe when the markets go down.
Perceived as like the safest investment ever throughout history. And McIlvaney ICA has a free report that you can download if you'd like to learn more about investing in precious metals. Should you be getting into numismatics, or should it be bullion, or these kind of things? All kinds of questions. The 6 advantages of adding precious metals to your IRA and how you can double your ounces. Yeah, they've got a program that allows you to switch back and forth between gold and silver with the expectation that you can continually get more and more on your investment as a result. They also have sort of online digital options where you don't even have to be involved with a person to buy gold. They've really got some great options. They've been innovators in the precious metal space since 1972. As a matter of fact, the guy, McIlvaney, he was one of the ones instrumental in bringing gold back and as an investment platform for investors. They also have helped thousands of investors with precious metals IRAs. Call McIlvaney ICA today for your free portfolio review. They'll help you out. They'll take a look. 800-525-9556. I've talked to one of their guys there, and he was very useful to me. 800-525-9556. I have gotten some gold from them, and I consider them to be a great resource. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com. That's ICAGoldSilver.com. So, Michael, it looked here like you were getting to some really fun little interaction that was going on at the Democratic
Socialists of America National Convention that happened over the weekend, and it was. There were a few points where people just seemed to be triggering each other over and over again, just in different ways. One person interrupted another person's speech about defeating capitalism to make his own quick point about personal privilege. He said, guys, please keep the chatter to a minimum. And then someone interrupted him and shot back and said, please don't use gendered language to address everyone. That person objected to the previous speaker's use of the word guys.
Yeah. That's guys is now it's a gendered term. It's supposed to be, say, folks or something. I've read all these people. Like, you just can't do anything right with these sorts.
Yeah, they're saying guys is a gendered term because apparently it's a gendered term.
Certainly, historically it was, but I think that it can also be used as a non-gendered term.
Yeah, I mean, people use it as a non-gendered term, but that's not good enough.
Not good enough. It's triggering.
Yeah, apparently so. Going on with the story from Reason, it is not at all uncommon to see the DSA sidetracked by infighting over unreasonable requests related to language and disability status.
That's the Democratic Socialists of America.
The Democratic Socialists of America.
Yeah.
In my book, the reporter's book about modern activism, Panic Attack, Young Radicals in the Age of Trump, I describe how the DSA's Medicare for All campaign was criticized by the DSA's Disability Caucus, whose members claimed that they should have the ultimate authority over issues pertaining to health and wellness.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Well, it is widely believed within progressive circles that the oppressed are the sole experts on their own oppression and that deference should be given to the most marginalized groups. In practice, this creates some weird standoffs.
I imagine that's true.
Yeah, that is from the book. This is a quote from the book. Since disabled people are especially affected by healthcare policy, the Medicare for All group had essentially failed to let disabled people be the experts on their own oppression, an intersectionality no-no.
I see.
Amber Ali Frost, a Medicare for All proponent and prominent DSA member known for co-hosting the left-wing Chapo Trap House podcast, hit back, accusing her critics of trying to sabotage the movement with their, quote, pathological antisocial behavior. This made matters much worse because the comment was perceived as an attack on the autistic community.
Oh, that's great.
Frost had committed ableism. Several dozen DSA members signed a petition demanding that she, quote, immediately remove herself from any involvement, official or unofficial, with the DSA's Medicare for All campaign, and should she not, that she be removed, end quote.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, you know.
And this is the truth is that basically anybody who's claims to be oppressed in any way, they are the expert in that particular realm. Oh. And it does make for some odd things. So, for instance, I will not be confused with a black guy by anybody.
Yeah.
However, I have heard from people that apparently there's infighting within the black community over things like black community. I don't even know what that means. Some black people tell other black people that they don't get to have an opinion because they're not black enough.
Not black enough. Okay.
Right.
Are they what? Are they just
not black enough?
How do you be not black enough?
I don't know. But apparently it then gets down to skin color and then, hair and a variety of things, and people just sort of goes back and forth. When you start using physical characteristics to determine whether somebody can have an opinion on a subject, it gets really strange.
Yeah, strange is not quite the first word that came to mind.
Right. Well, I mean, it's strange.
It's strange to hear that black people are criticizing other black people for not being black enough.
It's certainly done. Well, don't forget the Rochelle, what's that, Donicel gal that was out in Oregon or something.
Washington
basically
State, I think.
Not white, not black at all, pretending to be black or whatever you want to call it, identifying as black. I prefer to use that terminology.
Identifying as black when she was a very pale white.
Yeah. So she was tanning and getting her hair permed and doing a variety of things. And for me, honestly, if she's going through all the trouble to look black, then what's the problem with her, whatever. She's self-identifying as black. She's running the NAACP. Is she doing a bad job of that? Well, then what's the problem?
Not that I'd heard. No, she seemed to be doing a fine job running the NAACP, and nobody was criticizing her until it came out that she was actually white as the driven snow. I mean, but continuing on, this removal from the Medicare for All campaign was necessary because intersectionality means casting suspicion on organizing efforts if these efforts do not make the marginalized the center of attention.
Yeah. That's exactly what it all comes down to.
And that... I'm not sure how that serves anybody. If you want to be the center of attention, that's narcissistic. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it is.
See, I can do this too.
Mm-hmm. And I, speaking for the narcissists, feel like I have the opportunity to talk here.
There you go. Last little bit of this story. No one should come away from the coverage of the DSA convention with the idea that attendees did nothing but call out each other's pronouns, though. Listening to the live stream, this reporter heard heated discussions about significant policy issues like criminal justice reform, supporting the presidential campaign of Bernie Sanders, and combating, quote, Lex Luthor-esque scumbag Jeff Bezos.
Oh, God.
Of the various factions of progressive activism, the DSA is by far the most organized and the least likely to be derailed by culturally woke signaling.
And this is the culturally woke thing it truly is this identity politics is going to eat itself. And I think the premier example of this is TERFs. Have you heard this term?
Trans-exclusionary radical feminists. Yes.
Right. So these are feminists that don't like the trans people. Yes. And you can't get two more sort of liberal groups than trans people and feminists. And when they can't stand each other, they got you.
Where do you go with
this political game is about creating alliances. If you can't create alliances among your most closely allied, you're doomed.
Yeah, pretty much.
855-450-3733. Final segment coming up. 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. Love to hear from you.
hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have 2 convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part, Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live final segment. We might be able to squeeze you in. If you call in now, the number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Mark with you.
And Michael.
If you want to reach people with the ideas of liberty, you have a few options. One of them that I think works really well is doing it from the back of your car with libertystickers.com. You can reach thousands of people with a bumper sticker
I love seeing people's bumper stickers. I don't always love what's on them, but I always look at them.
You scoot forward in line to be able to, car line, to be able to sort of read them and that kind of thing. Yeah, people love bumper stickers. And they have a vast selection of witty, poignant, pithy, and downright bombastic liberty-oriented messages over at libertystickers.com. Well worth checking out, libertystickers.com. I like to just go through and read them.
Yeah, their stickers I love.
And they probably have one that's relevant to every situation except this one. From the Daily Mail, man who donated his mother's body to an Arizona center for Alzheimer's research discovered it was sold to the U.S. military for $6,000, strapped to a chair, and blown up in a blast test.
How does that even happen?
I have no idea.
You think your body's going to scientific research and it ends up in the hands of the military and they blow it up?
Right.
What?
The USA done blowed up grandma.
Why?
Doris Stauffer, 73, died in hospice care following the several-year battle with Alzheimer's, despite doctors saying she didn't carry the gene for the disease. That sounds interesting, right?
Yeah, that's yeah.
If there's a disease
if there's an Alzheimer's gene, but she doesn't have it, but she has Alzheimer's, maybe there's something that they missed.
Or there's something worth looking at here.
Right.
Medical officials fear the disease may have mutated and hope to study her brain after her death, but her neurologist was unable to accept her remains. Finally, her son settled on the Biological Resource Center in Maricopa County and signed an agreement to donate Doris's brain to Alzheimer's research. Days later, he received a wooden box labeled with his mother's ashes and an ID number, but it was later discovered to contain just the ashes from her hand. The rest of her remains were sold to the U.S. military, strapped into a chair, and blown up in a blast test to study what happened to humans in cars hit by IEDs. So, not to say that doesn't have some value, but it's shocking as it could possibly be.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I guess the military would need to study, but how this body got from Alzheimer's research to the military blowing it up, it just doesn't follow. It's not something you expect to happen.
Well, either somebody didn't read the contract properly or somebody didn't care about what was written in the contract. One of the two.
Yeah, my guess probably the latter.
Yeah. So an Arizona man has spoken out about the heartbreak he endured when learning that the body of his mother, which he donated to a medical research center, was sold off to the military and blown up in a blast test experiment. Doris Stauffer, 73, died 5 years ago in hospice care following a several-year battle with Alzheimer's, despite doctors saying she didn't carry the gene for the disease. Medical officials feared the condition may have mutated and hoped to study her brain after her death to further investigate. However, when she died in 2014, her neurologist was unable to accept her remains, so her son, Jim, reached out to a number of donation facilities whom he hoped would be able to continue the investigation. Finally, he settled on biological. One wonders why the neurologist couldn't accept the remains.
Yeah, that's a good question.
He settled on Biological Resource Center in Maricopa County following a recommendation from a nurse under the agreement that the company, led by Stephen Gore, would send her brain to a neurological research group. I feel foolish, Jim Stauffer told Fox 6, learning that the true fate of his mother's remains, because I'm not a trusting person, but this situation, you have no idea what's going on. You trust. I think that trust is what they fed on.
Yeah, well, you pretty much have to trust them to do what they say they're going to do. It's not like you are going to walk through the whole process with the dead body yourself.
Right. I mean, and if your loved one wants to be donated to science or whatever, I don't think what they're thinking of is blast testing.
Yeah, this is not what you think, and this is not what you have in mind. I mean, what this guy obviously had in mind is that his mother's brain was going to be taken out and sent to some laboratory somewhere to be studied.
And that's what he hoped, and I think that there's very good reason to hope that, with the fact that she didn't have the genetic markers for Alzheimer's, but in fact had the disease, or supposedly. So Jim recalls how an official from BRC, that's the company, came to pick up his mother's remains within 45 minutes of her death.
Wow.
There, he said he signed an agreement with the official in which it was detailed that would what would and would not happen to Doris's remains. Several days later, he received a wooden box that contained the majority of his mother's ashes. However, no information was provided on how Doris's body was used or where the rest of her remains were. And why would there be? Another 3 years would pass before he learned what really happened to his mother when a reporter from Reuters sent him a series of documents.
Oh, wow. That's a terrible way to learn something like this.
Shocking.
When
Shocking.
the press calls you about it.
Yeah, the records showed that the BRC workers detached one of Doris Stauffer's hands for cremation. After sending these ashes back to her son, the company sold and shipped the rest of Stauffer's body, including her brain, to a taxpayer-funded research blast testing project for the U.S. Army. Doris's cadaver was then strapped into a chair in some sort of apparatus, and an explosive device was detonated beneath her. The idea of the experiment was to get an idea of what the human body goes through when a vehicle is hit by an IED, the documents detailed. And I can see why they want to know that, especially like 5 years ago. There's actually wording in this paperwork about performing this stuff, Jim said, performing these medical tests that may involve explosives, and we said no. We checked the no box on all that. BRC and the military records show that at least 20 other bodies were also used in the blast experiments without permission of the donors or their relatives. The donated bodies were all sold to the military for $5,900 each, $6,000. Officials of the project said that they never received the consent forms from the donors or their families along with their cadavers. Instead, they were forced to rely on the assurances of BRC that the families or donors had all agreed and used in the specified type of research. They'd be used in the specialized type of research. No, I can't imagine very many families saying, yeah, go ahead and blow up my loved one.
There's not too many that would, but I can't imagine it happening, especially if somebody's been in the military and wants to donate their body to something like this to help other people in the future. I mean, I can see it happening, but I don't see this person doing it.
This is pretty shocking. We'll have this story up. You can go to our Telegram group. Go to telegram.freetalklive.com and sign up, and you can read the rest of it. I want to go real quick to Guy calling in from Florida. Guy, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, thank you. You're talking about the requirements to be president, and the comment was made, all you need is a birth certificate.
Pretty much.
And this is one of the things that the ignorance of the American public has cost us much.
Okay.
The requirements to be president, according to the Constitution, you have to be 35 years of age.
Right.
That's pretty easy for most people to prove.
And you could prove it with a birth certificate.
14 years resident of the United States, and that's fairly easy.
Uh-huh.
And you have to be a natural-born citizen.
Right.
And most people have no clue what that means.
All right. Well, there's a lot of argument about it, actually. I mean, you can read.
No, there's no argument about it.
Oh, there's no argument. The Heritage Foundation didn't just write an article about this refuting some thoughts. No arguments. Go ahead.
If you check what the founders wrote and you check the source material they used when they wrote the Constitution, which was the tome Laws of Nations written by Belly in 1750s, it says a natural-born citizen is a person born in a country, and at the time of the birth, both of their parents are citizens of that country. Anything less than that is not a natural-born citizen.
So McCain wouldn't have been eligible.
If your parents are on a foreign land in service to the government, so like a missionary or
John McCain.
Diplomat or something, or
John
military.
McCain. Right?
I'm sorry?
So John McCain would count as a natural-born citizen under that definition.
Yes, because his father was in the military service and he was stationed in a foreign land in service to the U.S. government. Yes.
Okay. Fine. So that's natural-born. All right. I think that a birth certificate will help with that information.
Okay. Now, on the other hand, you have several people now that aren't. Ted Cruz was never a natural-born citizen and can't be considered one. Marco Rubio, born in Florida. Both parents at the time of his birth were Cuban nationals. They were not U.S. citizens. He's a native-born U.S. citizen, not a natural-born citizen, and he does not qualify under the terms of the Constitution as the founders wrote the requirement.
Well, neither of them became president, so I guess we don't have to worry about it.
Okay? And Trump never postulated that Barry Soetoro or Barack Obama, whatever name you want to use for him, was born outside the United States. He just said, we need proof of your birth.
I can't wait for your amicus brief to the United States Supreme Court. Gary, Guy, I feel like you really know about this. Appreciate the call.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any